Yeah, so that's like, I use that as a metaphor for describing the different levels. In the East Coast Hockey League, you do not get food. Some teams will give you food. I can tell you that you get treated better in the USHL than you do in the East Coast Hockey League. There's no almond bars. There's maybe a granola bar if you're lucky, and that was from the visiting team leaving it from the last night's game. Then you get up to the American League, and you have like an omelet chef that comes in, and you get, it's like a hotel one. You get like,
this is in MTS Center,
yeah,
or Canada Life Center.
Yeah, no, it would be that, or it'd be at the Sportsplex practice rink. You get your little bit of ham, a little bit of cheese, green pepper.
But hold on, paint me a picture though. So you turn up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m.
Something like that, yeah.
So you turn up. You go into the rink, get your stuff on, and then there's the chef?
No, you come in and put your gitch on, and there's a chef, and you eat, and you watch your video and stuff, and you shoot the shit and have coffee, and then that's your breakfast, and there's like oatmeal, some cereal, this typical stuff. But difference outside of some teams is like, instead of just oatmeal and cereal, you get like an omelet chef from, I think there was a culinary school that they work in combination with. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just the simple stuff like eggs, cheese, green peppers, some mushrooms. Boom. For me, like, I'm a simple guy. Like, that's great. Give me 2. Mm-hmm. Give me 14 of these right now.
So you're going from barely a granola bar, you get the ham omelet and whatnot, the mousse, but then what are you getting with the Jets?
You're getting like grass-fed beef, bacon. Like, you go from 4 omelet things to like probably 20. I don't know like the specific things, but it's like literally different types of cheese. You're not just getting shredded cheese. You're getting like your Gouda, your Swiss, and it's like. But again, that's part of being at the next level, is you get that stuff. Like in the NFL and Major League Baseball, they get even more because they have more money. But like seeing that, you're like, that is the next step. And so I use that, the food, the omelet bar as my metaphor for like, you don't want to be down here. You want to be eating the grass-fed beef omelet, and you don't want to be having the chewy granola bar for breakfast because you can't pay your rent or your gas bill playing in the East Coast League.
So when you're up in Winnipeg though, like what are you seeing from Helly? Because I know you basically were in the system with him all the way through, and then he's stolen the job. He stole it from Steve Mason, nominated for the Vezina. He's starting for Game 1 of the playoffs. You've seen him through and through. What did you notice from him? What makes him so special?
It's hard. He doesn't get any like FaceTime or publicity. I've even asked him to come on my pod, and he doesn't. You
had him on your pod. You talked about fishing though.
Very briefly, but he didn't want to talk about hockey, which put it to his credit. He obviously understates. He's a very good goalie, Vezina winner. Twice. He has that same, as the kids would say, aura around him about that we talked about earlier, or like the Carey Price, but it's not in this loud confidence. It's in this quiet confidence. Like, he keeps to himself. I think he's got a child now. By the time he didn't, and it was just hanging out with his girlfriend or fiance at the time, his dogs, fishing, very simple. But like, you don't get a read on him. You just know like, this guy's good. Funny guy.
Really?
He's funny.
He doesn't seem like he's a funny guy.
He's funny. He's a funny guy, and that's the thing. It sucks that you don't get to see that side of him, like how like other NHL players are more out there, because he's a funny guy.
Is there anything that comes to mind, like funny wise, like something funny he said or did that stands out in your memory?
I don't even know. I just remember when I was Black Ace, and it was just him and I sitting at the breakfast or brunch table or pregame meal table, and I just remember it just laughing. I don't know what we're talking about, but it was just goalies being goalies and just laughing. And he's just a funny guy. And like, or even like during development camp years, it was myself and Jason Kasdorf and
Winnipeg legend,
big Winnipeg legend, big guy. Also another good human being. But we were staying at the same hotel, and we'd go to the Sport Check at Polo Park. We would just spend like 3 hours putting on the greens. But this is back before, when we were all in college. We didn't have any money. We didn't have anything to do, and so we just go to the mall and just putt and chirp each other and just be like kids in the mall. But it's too bad. It's too bad Helly. Hopefully when he retires, he gives a little bit more about him, because he's a funny guy, a really funny guy.
I'll own it. I've sent a couple messages to different NHL guys, like, hey, like, if you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome to. Like, I'm not the CBC or the TSN. I'm not going to bury you for clicks. I just, unbiased, let's have a conversation, see where it goes. I've sent his wife, probably we're talking the double digits of messages on Instagram now, being like, hey, hope you're well. If your husband ever wants to come on, like, I would love. And
he doesn't even do like any of the stuff for the Jets.
I know.
So I don't think you're going to get it. It's tough. I feel bad. You have your reputation. which is too bad because like even like when I put up the story asking for questions, I got a few people angrily messaging me. But
they don't know. They don't know.
But whenever we have our pod, they're always really good. They're always like, I don't know, I find them kind of deep. We usually get into like deeper things, like the mental health side of things and like the grinding and the adversity, or like, you know, some of the political things of like of minor hockey and all this stuff we get into. I don't know, whatever. People are going to do what they're going to do.
Well, you're one of my closest friends, and I love you with all my heart, and I'm not here to bury you. I want to have a good conversation with you, and I'm honored that you allow me to share the story. I mean, how many times we shared all these stories?
Maybe a fourth time. Who knows? But you sure drove shotgun all the way from Fort Wayne, Indiana, to
come down here with you.
Grand Rapids. Yeah, come up here actually.
But that's true.
That is
come up. But anyway,
as you're suspended for being an idiot.
Well, for scrapping and then flipping the net Askarov style. But we'll get to that later. I want to continue with your story. It's not about me. This week's about you.
Right.
So. Also, what did you order on the private jet? You said there was a lamb option. What were the other options?
I can't remember. Probably fish, lamb, steak. I'm a big lamb guy, so whenever you have the option for lamb, get lamb. Lamb is also very expensive, more expensive than like red meat. So I usually will get it, and it was very well done. Nice little lamb chop.
Ooh, nice.
And I think there was like a rosemary balsamic kind of glaze on it. The one thing I do remember is there's sushi when you walked on, which is pretty cool. But you got, instead of like water bottles like you have, it was the full 1 liter Fiji waters. Ooh. And if you think I didn't put 4 of those in my bag, I did. My backpack, I'm pretty sure it was like a Michigan Tech Husky backpack, and I put like 4 and then 2 in like the drink holders.
He's walking out, he's carrying the bags like this.
I was like, hey, is this to take?
Can I take a couple of these? He's got the Costco case in the back.
Yeah, you know, so like, and those were in my my fridge for a while, but I started probably just refilling them up with the rig. I was like, guys, I can afford Fiji.
Jimmy, you know there's more in the back you can take. You don't have to take them on the plane. Do you remember what Buff ordered?
I don't think he ate.
Really?
You know when like you're like sick and you just don't want to eat? I think that was just like I get the man flu. I tell like it's real. Like the man flu is significantly worse for males. I get it, and so he probably had it, and I don't remember. I was trying to like black out all the embarrassment of me being a peasant on that time. God, it's just one media guy didn't show up. It would have been good. I would have been safe.
Do you remember what Bucky ordered?
We didn't. He was somewhere in the middle row. So I don't know what he would have ordered. Mm-hmm. I just kept my head down and tried not to draw attention to myself as best I could.
Seen and not heard.
Yeah, don't like me. I'm just here in case someone gets hurt. And in that case, they're going to send me away and call a hutch.
When he actually has to play. Why don't we talk about the end, though? Because this is something that I don't think we talked about enough last time. So you played 2 years in the American League. Like I said, you did well. You played 28 games-ish. Mm-hmm. 908, 922, best save percentage of all time in the playoffs. Yep. And up and down a little bit between Jacksonville and Tulsa and whatnot. Mm. But so then you get called in for the year-end meeting, and Zinger says what?
Yeah.
This is the end of your contract, too.
End of my contract. So he just said, he's like, you did everything right, and you earned an opportunity, you didn't give it. And when he said that, my game plan that I had coming in, it like shattered. Like I look back and I'm like, I probably said the wrong things. I should have came in and be like, I just want to be a part of this organization. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And maybe they would have qualified me. Maybe not. Maybe they would have. But they said that, and it actually, like, the best way to describe it was like either my brain shattered and reality shattered, or my heart shattered. And then I think I said, like, hey, well, if being here isn't what you want, like, I'd rather go to an organization where I get an opportunity and blah, blah, blah. And I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said the political thing and the hockey thing. And I didn't. So I didn't get qualified. I ended up signing with Charlotte. And my luck being my luck, Carolina had like 7 guys on NHL deals and me on an American League deal. So I was sent to the coast. And then playing really well in Florida. Like I said, struggling a little bit, starting to struggle mentally now with things, but I was putting in good performances on the ice. It was just like the 24 hours leading up before a game, I was like puking my brains out and nerves. And then things are going great, doing really well, starting to feel good again. Like, all right, like now we're back. I'm living in Florida, 4 miles Florida. Like, this is great. I get to show up the ring in shorts. Unbelievable organization. They've won it 3 years in a row. Like, they treat you so well. This is awesome. And then I find out, get called in the office, and usually you get that call, you're like, okay, something bad's happening. And I found out that they are moving me to Reading, which is not the best place in the world.
ECHL.
Moved me to a different ACHL team because they wanted Callum Booth, who wasn't doing super well that year. They wanted him to play on a better team and kind of get his confidence up. So they swapped us. And so he went to the Crador team that went to the lost in the Kelly Cup finals. And then I went to Reading, who was on the outside looking into playoffs. And it was sort of like the junior situation where I just came in and I played super sick. And we missed out on playoffs by 1 point. But I was like, that was probably one of the best string of games I had in my pro career. And I just didn't have any good offers. Like I didn't have any.
We do a hockey podcast called Sling the Biscuit every single Sunday. The clips, the bite-sized chunks are right here. Only the hits, the full-length show, which you don't want to miss, is right here. That's Dave. I'm Travis. We'll see you soon.